Hi, Sarah here from Cycle Maintenance Academy. In today's video we're going to be looking at how to replace your bike saddle. But before we begin, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like our videos. Okay, let's begin. Bike seats or saddles sometimes need replacing, either because they are worn out or the rider wants a different one. There are three main types of saddle clamps: traditional or universal saddle clamp, standard micro adjust seat post, micro adjust seat post 2. Traditional or universal saddle clamp. Find out what size spanner is needed to fit onto the nut. If there are nuts on both sides, undo one nut 3 or 4 revolutions. Now you should be able to remove the saddle from the seat post. Put the saddle on a workbench or table with the clamp facing up and the nose facing away from you. Undo the loose nut and take it off the centre rod. Remove the outer plate. Remove the centre rod. Now you will be able to remove the inner plates and the U-shaped part of the clamp. Look carefully at the U-shaped part. Sometimes there is a small lip or tab on the top of it. This is designed to stop the seat post slipping through if the bolts become loose. When reassembling the saddle, make sure this is at the top. Now take your new saddle and put it on the table or bench with the saddle rails uppermost and the nose of the saddle pointing away from you. Take the 2 inner plates and position them on the 2 rails on the inside. Take the U-shaped clamp. The curved part needs to be towards the front of the saddle, and if there is a tab, this needs to be away from you. Now slot it in between the inner plates. Because there are serrations on the plate and the U-clamp, it will click together. Now this is in place, you can replace the centre rod, the outer plate, and finally the nut. Hand tighten the nut and then fit the saddle onto the post. Once the saddle is in place, you will be able to slide it back and forth and tilt it up and down to achieve the desired position. If you are tilting the saddle, you will probably hear a clicking sound. Don't panic. This is because the 2 parts of the clamp that are moving against each other have notches in them, and they lock together to hold the saddle in place when the clamp is tightened. When your saddle is in place, you can finally tighten the nut. Make sure that it doesn't move when you sit on it, and you're good to go. Standard micro adjust seat post. Here, the clamp is part of the seat post. Locate the Allen key bolt at the back of the seat post and fit a 6mm Allen key. Turn the Allen key anti-clockwise until the bolt is quite loose, but not totally undone. Now make sure that the saddle is central on the rails. This will help you move the top part of the clamp 90 degrees. This allows the saddle to be lifted clear of the clamp. You can now fit the new saddle. The rails fit into the grooves of the lower clamp, and the top part of the clamp can be turned back 90 degrees and retightened. So the saddle won't come loose, the 2 parts of the clamp are notched and interlock when the bolt is tightened. When the saddle is in the position you have chosen, tighten the Allen key bolt. Make sure it is tight. Micro adjust seat post 2. This seat post has 2 bolts to clamp the saddle on the rails. They normally use a 5mm Allen key. Undo both bolts. Loosen both bolts so that the saddle is really wobbly. Now you can tip the saddle to the side to release the saddle. Fit your new saddle into position. It is a good idea to hold the clamp with one hand while you use your other hand to tighten the bolts using an Allen key. As you tighten the front bolt, the nose of the saddle will be forced down. If you tighten the rear bolt, the saddle will tilt up. The secret is to tighten each bolt a little at a time until the saddle is at the correct position. Make sure that both bolts are tight, and remember that tightening one bolt will tip the saddle, so each bolt must be tightened a little at a time. Sometimes a small adjustment to the position of your saddle can make a huge difference to your cycling comfort. Okay, thanks for watching. Please write in the comments below if you managed to replace your saddle.